On November 14th, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 released to the world, and for the most part, it's received quite critical attention. No pun intended. But let's take a step back for a second. What if you're not interested in multiplayer or in the campaign? What if we're solely talking about the zombies mode here? Well, let's just get right into it, I guess. I played about 13 hours of this game, and I'm already halfway through First Prestige, and I've been having a decent time with this game. But before this game even released, it already had this stigma tied to it of it just being a Black Ops 6 refresh. Is that really even the case? Well, kind of, but also not. Let me explain. So the Black Ops 6.5 allegations, as they're called, deems this game as a carbon copy because it shares a lot of similar mechanics, similar to the Augments system, the armor system that's been returning since Cold War, and also the rarity system, which has also been returning since Cold War. I guess also the point system, but more on that later. Which makes people believe that this is basically just another refresh of Black Ops 6. But I'm here to advocate that this game, I don't know how, even though it is so similar, supersedes Black Ops 6 by a mile. And I enjoyed Black Ops 6 just a little bit, not too much, but this game has some sauce to it. I guess to really kick off this topic, let's talk about what we just mentioned there for a second. The gameplay mechanics themselves. I think the biggest one that I don't like is the return of the armor system. And that is the case because I find armor to be super restricting, and they also just don't drop enough plates most of the time. At least in my playthroughs, I feel like I'm always running dry on armor and there's none to be found on the ground, especially when I'm trying to do a camo challenge or something that involves me getting up and close. Mind you, this is before I even had Cursed unlocked, so for a regular player, I feel like the armor economy is super not balanced. It just does not work, and I really think they need to go back to the drawing board on this one. I'm going to be trying out Turtle Shell later on because I just unlocked that one, so maybe that'll change my mind, but for now, I still despise the armor system, and I think it is one of the worst mechanics in this game. However, rarities, on the other hand, I'm actually very torn on, which is surprising me because I don't like rarities in this game. Like, in Black Ops 6, rarities felt like something that held you back most of the time. Like, you're always needing to run to go to the secondary station to upgrade your gun instead of just using your gun for a little bit. I guess that's the best way to explain it. I always felt like I needed to go to the armory to upgrade my gun so it could keep up with the rounds. But in this game, that is not a problem. And I think there's a couple reasons why. The first reason being the spores on the ground that you can use toxic growth on are amazingly good. And I don't even think it's in a bad way. I think they genuinely give you such good rewards, especially for using something as simple as your field upgrade on round 4. These things are a godsend, and they genuinely make the guns in this game so much better. And I thought I would hate spawning in with something other than a pistol, but even when I play the regular modes, getting these spores and upgrading my gun to a blue rarity on round 4 or round 5 even, it changes the game entirely. I don't know what it is about it. I don't think about going to the armory to upgrade every few rounds. It just works the way it's intended, and it's great. I adore it. I love not having to worry about how much salvage I have, how much I have to manage in my inventory. It's not in my head. It doesn't cross my mind most games, and I love it. It's such a great change of pace, and I think these spores, I don't know if they're going to return in Astra Malorum. That hasn't been confirmed yet. But if they do, I think I'm going to love this game a lot more. I think the pacing in the beginning of the game with these drops makes it so much better. I went on kind of a rant there, but I genuinely do think that system in this map makes things so much better. Another thing that I think improves this game quite a lot is the removal of tac sprint, and I didn't think this would be as much of a deal as it was, but in Black Ops 6, I would have Omni movement to basically always be running. I would always be jogging, and then my sprint button would make me sprint. The problem with this is everything is so fast-paced, it does not feel comfortable to me. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but it's how it feels. Everything is way too fast for me. Sliding around is so fast, sprinting around is so fast. I can't even inspect my gun without being interrupted because I'm technically always jogging. I can't stop and smell the roses. But with tac sprint removed, I can actually inspect my gun and walk around. And then if I want to run, I press the run button and I'm running. That's the best way to describe it. It slows down the gameplay in a great way. It makes it feel a lot more calm in a way because of it. You don't need to keep pressing sprint in order to run, and you don't have to worry about omni movement. Great improvement overall. I think next up on the list, we need to get this one out of the way because I have some gripes with it, and it's not for the reasons you may think. I want to talk about the HUD real quick. The HUD in Black Ops 7, visually, in my opinion, it's not that bad. It could be worse. I see people comparing this to Black Ops 4 and that Black Ops 4 is better. I entirely disagree. This one is a lot better, and it's because you can customize it. However, my gripe with it is that the customization does not work half the time. I should have footage on screen right now, but most of the time when I press a button to turn something off, it doesn't work. I have one of the presets on and I just want to turn one setting off and it just doesn't work. I've tried to turn the compass off at the top of the screen so many times that it just literally does not work anymore. I cannot remove my compass from the top of the screen. Anytime I turn it off and then I go back in, the compass is back on my screen, and now my settings doesn't even let me turn it off. This has been an issue since Black Ops 6, and I need Treyarch to fix this, because what's the point of customizing a HUD if it doesn't keep my settings? But that's my main gripe. It just does not save my settings for some reason. And now let's move on to the augments. In my opinion, the augments have improved quite a bit in this game compared to Black Ops 6. And I think that's because there's just a lot more to earn. It feels like you're grinding for a lot more. And the fact that you can put on 2 minor augments is actually huge, and it makes the build crafting feel a lot more in depth and a lot more methodical. I always was confused why you can only have 1 minor augment since it's called a minor augment. It felt like there was supposed to be more than 1 the whole time. This game is probably the reason why it wasn't in there to begin with. But for the most part, all the augments I've unlocked so far are pretty good. I think a lot of the minor augments, having 2 of them, do synergize together very well. And it's a very nice and welcome change. But the one problem that I have with augments is that it takes so goddamn long to rank them up. After unlocking them in Black Ops 6 fully, I've only been able to fully max out 2 augments in the course of an entire prestige. And that is absolutely absurd. It should not take me almost like 8 to 10 hours just to do 2 augments. Albeit most of these games are high round games, so they are very XP heavy. So I'm probably earning XP at a faster rate than a casual player would. But still, I think these earn rates are way too slow. I've been playing during double XP and it feels so much better to unlock these augments at that rate. I think that's the rate that they should stay at because they're not too fast and they're not too slow. I think it's like literally the perfect. And maybe that's by design. Maybe they want you to be using double XP tokens so you can unlock these faster, but I just think it's way too slow. Alright, let's move on to the perks. I think the perks are fine. They're the same as Black Ops 6. I didn't really have any complaints in that game. The augments for them are good, obviously. I think Wisp T is kind of poorly designed, but like, it really doesn't affect me that much. If I don't want the perk, I'm not going to buy it. And if I'm playing on a high round, sure, it'll help me get a kill or 2 more. It's fine. It's whatever. I need to unlock more augments for it to really give my thoughts on it, because I really just haven't played with it enough. Yeah, I don't know. Wisp T is okay. Everything else is fine. There's not really any perks that stand out as being like extra bad or like they need to remove or anything. Like they're not out of place. They're fine. I just still just like that you can buy every perk in the map. It feels really cool to be able to do that, but yeah, perks are fine. Field upgrades on the other hand, there are 3 field upgrades that are carrying right now, and that's actually a good thing because it's usually just 1 or 2. So the 3 that are carrying are definitely Ether Shroud, Toxic Growth, and Frenzied Guard. Those 3 are carrying, and they're doing a great job at it. The other ones, I don't really get a use out of. I don't really even think about touching, but maybe I just also haven't used them enough because I don't have any augments for them, so maybe that's a me problem. Let's talk about the guns for Black Ops 7 now. These guns are honestly so good. Like, they all sound unique. They all look unique. They have their own unique reload animations. This genuinely is the most personality I've seen in a Call of Duty game in terms of animation style and gun models that I've seen literally in so long. The last COD games for the past 6 or 7 years have been literally just basic animations with guns that are based on something in reality that like just feel like a cheap Goodwill knockoff version of a gun. But these guns actually feel like they're something that makes sense in the Black Ops universe or makes sense as a futuristic weapon, and they feel super nice to use. The sound design is great. The animations are great. I literally have no complaints about the guns. And since we're on the topic of guns, the Wonder Weapon in this map is probably the fucking coolest thing that I've seen in a zombies game in years. This thing is amazing. It is so cool. The sound design is awesome. The animation of it crawling on your arm is so creepy, and like it's so perfect for what a zombies map needs to have. It has so much aura, and it is the best Wonder Weapon we've had in probably the past 5 years. It's so goddamn cool. Speaking of being the best in the past 5 years, this map is probably the best map that we've had in the modern zombies era. There has not been a single map that I think has come close to matching how well this map plays and just everything about it. This map is so cool in the concept of it is a similar style to the map transit, where there's multiple locations with routes to get between them. But instead of the bus taking you places, you go there yourself. There's no downtime of you just sitting there waiting for another object to take you to another location. You're always in the action, and I think it is a great change of pace. As jarring as driving a vehicle is in Zombies at first, I think it actually is pulled off quite well. If you look at it on the surface, it's like, oh, it's just another Warzone mechanic that they brought to Zombies. I can kind of agree with that, but this vehicle does have a lot of personality, and Ted being the person talking to you the whole time is honestly so cool. I love hearing Ted's little voice quips, like when I fly in the air, he's like, that's just fun. That's aura. Like, that adds to the map experience so much. And there's so many little tiny things in this map that genuinely just add so much to the experience. This is the most polished I've seen in a Zombies map in so long. I would say probably Shattered Veil gets like a close second in the modern Zombies era, or maybe even Citadel, but like this one is on another level. I have not enjoyed a map and the way it plays more than this one since Black Ops 3, basically. I never thought I would enjoy a modern Zombies map with these mechanics the way I have this map, but this map is genuinely so good. And while we're still talking about this map, let's just talk about the atmosphere. This map has massive aura points in the atmosphere department. The sky is purple around you, which I know has been used in every single game for the past 4 years in the Dark Ether. It's kind of getting annoying, but this map gives it contrast. It's not just purple. It's a purple sky, but you can see so many other colors when you're walking around this map. When you're walking through Blackwater Lake in the cabin, it's all like wood and it's brown, and then you go outside and it's snowy with the lake on the ground. It's all frozen over. It looks so good. And then you go to Ashwood and it's a burning old western town, so there's fire everywhere. It's being engulfed in flames as we speak. And then you go over to exit 115 and it's this neon glowing diner with a little bit of snow around and lightning everywhere. The visuals and like the aesthetic direction that this map is truly incredible. I'm truly at a loss for words for how much thought and how much energy has gone into making this map look visually striking. I feel like this map probably took a lot of the response from Liberty Falls, people saying that there wasn't enough aura, and they were like, all right, let's crank it to 11 for this one, so they're not disappointed next time. That's what it feels like. Moving on from the aura of this absolute visual masterpiece of a map, let's talk about the enemies, because I'm kind of mixed on this. The Zersa feels so at home at times in certain areas of the map, like when you're at the cabin, you're like literally surrounded by the woods, so it makes sense there's a bear. And some of the other places, it just kind of feels weird to have the bear there, but also it's, I would say, mechanically a good enemy. I just feel like thematically, it doesn't fit in all the locations, but it's fine. I don't really think it takes away from the experience at all. It's okay. And the Ravagers are kind of annoying, but I kind of like that. It shakes up the regular zombie experience, because most zombies, if you're just sprinting or running around, they can't touch you, but these Ravagers are just a little bit faster, so they can like poke you every now and then when you think you're safe and you're really not. Like if you're trying to reload and you're trying to regen health, they'll like stop your regen because they can just they like jump ahead and tickle you a bit, and they just stop your regen just to be annoying. I kind of like that as a mechanic. It kind of shakes things up a bit, and as a dog round, they're fine. They're pretty easy. They kind of clump together when you're just walking backwards, so you can just like spray into them while walking backwards, just hip firing. Kind of nice, kind of easy. But yeah, the enemies, they're fine. I don't have any complaints. I'm glad that a lot of the Black Ops 6 ones are not returning. I know the Doppelgast is here when you're playing Cursed, which we'll get into Cursed later. But like for the most part, they didn't bring back the super annoying enemies. And the Uberklaus doesn't count, I would say. It's a part of an Easter egg that you just have to kill one of, and then you're done with it for the entire map. And I think it only even comes over because of where we're at in the map. It's Janus Plaza, so there was literally Uberklauses in the map that came from. So I can give it a pass. It's fine. I don't really care. But yeah, the enemies, they're okay. Now let's move on to the controversial part of this map, the Easter egg and the boss fight. Now I've seen people say that this Easter egg is one of the best ones in modern Zombies history, and it's similar to like what Jason Blundell would do. And I'm kind of in that camp, but I have some gripes with it. This Easter egg, playing solo, is so goddamn annoying. In case you don't know the steps for this map, I'm going to try to give it a quick rundown. So basically, once you spawn in, you drive to one side of the map to grab some parts so you can do this little ritual where you cut your hand and then you have to survive for a bit. That's all fine and dandy. The problem is there are 6 of those parts, and they're all scattered on opposite sides of the map. Not only that, but to upgrade your vehicle, you have to go on one side of the map while you're trying to do tasks on the other side of the map. And it doesn't really feel cohesive in a way. Like, all of these tasks are super simple, and once you learn them, they're like things you could do on the back of your hand. They're such easy tasks, but the problem of them being so scattered across the map kind of feels like they're trying to make you do too much at once everywhere at the same time. Which, I mean, I kind of get it from a gameplay perspective. They want you to use all the locations that you're traveling to, but sometimes it just feels like it's too much and it's not really bringing the experience together. It just feels like I'm driving Tessie across the map 4 or 5, 6 different times just so I can do one tiny step of a larger quest. And most of the time, if I'm being lazy, I don't even want to drive to all those places. I'll probably just skip a step, because if you get the right code on the wall, you can just skip getting pieces entirely, which I tend to do because I'm just lazy like that, and I don't want to do all those steps if I don't have to. Regardless, the Easter egg itself is, I would say, fine, but it is definitely a learning curve, and it is something that you can actually strategize and plan out beforehand, which I can't say for a lot of the other modern zombies maps. The boss fight, on the other hand, I have a bone to pick with this boss fight, because I did the Easter egg. I'd gotten to the last step before the boss fight the day before the patch to make it easier was implemented. I didn't know that that update was going to come out, so I had saved and quit my game, and the next morning when I went to play this map, I did the boss fight first try. I was thinking to myself, wow, this was so easy, just to find out later that day they had patched it 2 hours before I had played the map. So I got robbed of doing a hard boss fight that I thought was actually hard, but now is super easy, and everyone is giving it shit for being too easy now. But I still did that shit first try, baby. With that little side tangent put to bed, I do think this boss fight is fun. I like that you use the vehicle that you've been driving around this whole time as a weapon against the boss. I think it's a very, very smart idea. I think if they didn't use the vehicle in this map for the boss fight, I feel like it would be kind of underwhelming, and it definitely stands out as being super memorable and super fun, even if it is a bit difficult at times. I don't think that this boss fight is a cakewalk either, but I definitely do think the nerfs, for solo play at least, definitely did help and make it a lot more easy for someone doing it for the first time to complete. I did have my vehicle break down a few times, but like, it wasn't anything I couldn't handle. Like, I played zombies for years. It's not that difficult to like just run around for a bit and make myself survive. I was chilling. But yeah, boss fight in a nutshell, it's good. Easter egg, it's good. I wouldn't say it's the best of all time. Obviously, there's way better Easter eggs and way better boss fights, but I do think it is very unique and it stands out way more than anything else has in a long time. And since we're talking about the Easter egg, after you beat it, you get the first ending cutscene of a map. And honestly, this story is starting to become a little interesting to me. I don't know where they're going to take it, and that is what kind of concerns me, because let us not forget what just happened last year with BO6. That ending was awful. The way that the map ended before getting to this point here was terrible. Everyone was complaining about how bad it was, and I saw for myself just how stupid the ending was because none of it tied in together and none of it made sense. So I'm not letting that one go. I know that is what they just did before this game. Devil's advocate though, they could have just half-baked that story so they could go all in on this one, but I'm not gonna base my opinion on what they have done before on what they're doing in the future. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's just such a dumb way to think about it, and I'm only gonna critique what is in front of me. What I'm trying to say is we'll really figure out what the story is gonna be once they give all of it to us, and we'll see where it goes. After you beat the quest though, you now are able to interact with the tablet and unlock Curse Mode. Oh boy. Curse Mode is honestly such a good change of pace. Oh my god. If I'm being honest, I beat this map for the first time on Curse Mode with obviously no relics because I haven't unlocked them yet. But being able to farm points again, oh my god, massive difference. Another thing that I didn't mention in the weapons section of this map is when you're farming points, holy moly, shotguns are so goated. If you just get a weak shotgun on the wall and you're on like round 30, get a blue Marine SP shotgun, dude, you'll be farming points for days. That thing is so good at getting points because each pellet counts as a hit. I keep going on a bunch of side tangents, mind you, but Cursed is great, and I have unlocked 5 of the relics so far. I haven't been able to unlock the last few, but the relic system is honestly super cool. It actually gives me a reason to go back into the map, which I will get into that a little later. But the relics themselves are honestly super cool. They're nice little challenges. They're not too difficult. They're not too challenging. I'm able to completely do most of them in one map. Like, I got all 3 of the first relics in one game, and then I exfilled. It was super easy. And then for the other 2 relics that I got, they weren't that hard. I mean, it was a little more difficult because I had to get to around 40 to get them, but like, that was probably the hardest part. The relics themselves were super easy. The challenges, at least, they were not that bad. But yeah, overall, I think Curse Mode is a great addition. I think going forward, if they want to use the Modern Zombies formula, I think they have to keep Cursed. Cursed is one of the best things they've done in a while, and I honestly hope that the Cursed point system is the one that comes back for future games. I think it is such a great way of tying in old zombies and modern zombies together and making it actually work. I think the only thing that they would need to change to fully merge the systems is make a new armor system. Don't give us the shield system. Don't give us anything we've had before. Honestly, go back to the drawing boards and make a new armor system, and I'll be complete. I'm going to be completely honest. Cursed is great. Now let's talk about rewards. So the reward you get for completing the boss fight is a Dempsey skin, which is a cured version of him, which honestly is super cool. Yeah, it's just nice. The camo challenges for zombies though are actually really good. I'm gonna go for Infestation this year. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it. I say I'm gonna do it every year and then I never finish it, so I guess we'll see when it happens. The pacing for camos is great. I feel like I can get at least 2 guns golden per game if I'm really trying hard enough. I think the only thing that's like really holding me back from getting those camos super easily is honestly the lack of mule kick, because I can't level up 2 guns at the same time and also have the Necrofluid Gauntlet, which is unfortunate, but from what I've heard, that's coming pretty soon, so I might not have to worry about that in the near future. Another one of the rewards that are also new is Pack-a-Punch camo challenges, which is super sick. People have been asking for this for years, and I'm surprised that it's taken them this long to add, but now basically you can change your Pack-a-Punch camo on your gun if you've, for example, beaten the boss fight in Curse mode, or in Curse Tier 1, Curse Tier 2, Tier 3. That's how you unlock these extra special camos, and I think it's a great addition. Which leads me into my next thing, is there is reasons to replay the game and redo the boss fight multiple times, which I think is a huge improvement on Black Ops 6, which is why I think this is not just a Black Ops 6.5. This is genuinely a next step forward for zombies that hasn't been seen in years. Like, there's so much depth to this game because of Cursed and all that it brings to the table. And I'm glad they didn't half-bake a classic mode and throw it into Black Ops 6. I'm glad they kept it for this game, because people were saying before this game came out that it's just going to be Black Ops 6 remade and it's going to be the exact same and it's not going to improve on anything, and there's no reason for the $70 price tag. I think if you're a Zombies player, the $70 price tag is so worth it at this point in time. We don't know how it's going to go in the rest of the seasons, but as of right now, this game is absolutely worth buying. It is worth your money if you play zombies and you love to replay the maps as Cursed would allow you to. Literally, as I was editing this video, Treyarch decides to drop a giant blog post about the next season, and oh boy, it looks really good. I don't want to go too deep into this because this is more of a review video, but this map looks insane and has a lot of cool things. There's a new enemy. It looks really good. The new wonder weapon looks amazing, and the atmosphere looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to be on a floating rock in front of Saturn. Like, that's the coolest zombies locale I think I've ever seen in zombies. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what the DLC season brings, and I hope that they keep this momentum, because truly they're on a generational run right now, and if they can keep up this momentum, I think this game is going to stay amazing, and I guess we'll just see throughout the year what they decide to bring for us. I'm going to put an asterisk on the whole you should buy this game, because COD in the past 4 years have been known to really fuck up their games after Season 1 or after Season 2. And the reason for that is how they monetize these games. I'm going to be honest, I stopped playing Black Ops 6 because a lot of the bundles were forced down my throat and I didn't want them. They always wanted me to buy the Battle Pass. It's shoved down my throat 24/7. I don't want to buy your shit. I spent $70 on a game. They really need to stop trying to make me buy things from their shop. It's so goddamn annoying. And I think that's honestly what's going to burn a lot of people out if this game does do that same model. I don't think this game will survive as long or even survive at all like Black Ops 6 did if they're going to keep doing that. I think they really need to change how they monetize their game, or at least how they market the monetization of their game. Because honestly, having bundles that have weapon skins for wonder weapons, I think is super cool. But the fact that they give you a whole animation every time you launch the game for the Battle Pass, and then as soon as you go off that screen, your store button is flashing at you so you can click on it to get the new notification go away. But oh, little did you know, you can't actually make that notification go away because they just want you to open the shop and look what's in there. It's so annoying. I hate it. And they need to get rid of it, or at least tone it down. To wrap this video up, my thoughts on Black Ops 7 Zombies as of right now is that it is such a great change to the game from Black Ops 6. It is a massive improvement, and it is wildly different how these two games play. So if you bought Black Ops 6 and you didn't like the zombies as much as you thought you were going to when it first came out, give this one a try and truly try to play everything that it has to offer, and you're going to find yourself coming back to it, because I've been up for nights on end just playing this game nonstop because it is so addicting and it actually makes me want to come back to it every day. But yeah, what do you think about Black Ops 7? Do you think it's worth your time? Have you played it already? Do you enjoy it? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to like the video if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I think that's about it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.